Begin Within Ministries proudly presents Sofa Sundays with your hosts, Reverend Dr. Michelle Izuku and Reverend Jeannie Sovereigns. Sundays at 11:11 a.m. Arizona time and rebroadcasts on Mondays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Come join us on the sofa every Sunday morning. Sofa Sundays with Michelle and Jeannie. Learn more at www.beginwithinministries.com. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm a little chilly, so
You're a little chilly.
Yeah, it
Are
doesn't
you?
match my outfit, but it matches yours.
It
Yes.
does match mine.
Yes.
That's right. I try to match the,
And then I try to match Jeannie.
right. There's a lot happening.
She sends me what she's
around
wearing, so I
here.
don't completely clash.
Right. But that's good because Michelle does not like to pick out her outfits. Yeah,
Makes me
she's
go
like,
in. I do
she doesn't
not.
want to have to stress over it.
Just
So
tell me what to wear.
I
what
send her the
color,
colors and
whatever.
she finds whatever
It
matches
does
with
help
that.
me.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just like that.
I
I'm
was
not that
like-
kind of girl that's like, oh, I want to put these outfits together. Like, no.
No, you just go in and
It's stressful.
yeah.
No, like if I don't know already what to wear, then I
Yeah.
will spend too much time pulling out, trying it. Like, no, it's not fun for me.
Yeah. So that's why I try to do it Saturday
So when
night.
you do that, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh.
If I
know
forget
something
to
that
pick
will go
my
with that.
outfit Saturday night, then we're in trouble because then I get up in the morning and yeah,
It's mayhem there. From
it
there
could
on,
be it's a mayhem. So welcome, it's Super Bowl Sofa Sunday,
What?
Woo-woo!
And we're still here.
And we're still
We're
here.
still here.
Yes,
It's waste management. We're still here. That's
right.
Mhm.
There's
Dedication.
there's a competitive thing going on. There's like the Philadelphia Eagles, fly birds, fly.
Chiefs, Chiefs.
And then the Kansas City Chiefs. And it's so really for me, it's the competition of the cheesesteaks versus the barbecue.
There you go.
well, there
Right?
it is.
Like that's the real
there
story.
It is. And you know, I like me some barbecue.
So if we could have a barbecue cheesesteak, I would be all right with that.
I would be good with that too.
You know,
Anyone? Anybody good with that?
And our girl Taylor is actually from Pennsylvania, so she might be dating a chief.
Oh,
But she's an Eagles
that
fan.
girl.
I'm just saying.
Mm.
That's where she's from.
That's got to be difficult. Right
That's
now.
got to be difficult.
I'm worried about that.
His brother's an Eagles fan too.
Oh,
Don't worry about it.
problem.
Scott doesn't care.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good.
So, in case you're getting ready for your party and your game and everything like that, it's still early, people.
You can take a moment.
You can take a moment
Be
to
with
get
us here on
grounded
the
and
sofa.
centered and be here on the sofa. So, and where is the sofa located?
Well, we are here at the Unleash Your Life Studios, which is home of Reverend Dr. Michelle's amazing classes, and all her work is done here. So she's wonderful. She's got the best year yet.
Best year
2.0
yet.
is happening right
We're
now.
on our third year. Yes.
It's amazing.
It's-
That's been going on for 3 years.
It is. It's been awesome.
So cool.
Yeah. We have a lot of new people too, so
Yeah.
you can tell that we've been spreading the word. Yes.
I love it. Yeah, she's doing lots of other things here, but this is an amazing space that she lets us use for our ministry. She supports us that way, which we really, really appreciate. And where is it located?
We are at
How did we get here?
7220 North 16th Street, building A1. Not steak sauce. You'll see the girls. They'll be on the front door there. And that's in Phoenix, Arizona, 85020. We are located between Northern and Central. So,
We're in Glendale.
yeah, there you go. Northern and Glendale, because Central runs. I don't know where Central
Where did
came
that
from.
come from?
I don't know.
Somewhere in the
I
middle.
don't know. Yeah, somewhere in the middle.
Somewhere,
Exactly.
Somewhere else.
Northern and Glendale. That's where we're located at.
We knew
Yes.
what you meant the whole
Thank
time,
you.
but Anne clarified. So
Thanks.
that's good.
Thanks, Ed. Thanks for bringing me back. I apparently left my body for a moment.
Oh my gosh. Well, we're excited for today,
Yes, we are.
and then we're excited for all this too.
Yeah.
Exciting day. So, is it my turn or your turn? Who do
I
you-
don't know.
How are you feeling?
I feel like I could pray in.
You
I
feel
could
like
pray
the
us
prayer
in.
inner?
Yeah.
All right, let's do that. Okay, here we go. With the sirens and everything.
So with this tone, knowing that there is only one heartbeat, one breath, one divine, infinite source energy. And we are one with that. This is the truth of us. This is the power of us. This is the love of us. So in this, I speak my word for the highest and best good of this time together, knowing and affirming that we are one, that we are open at the top, and with each available to receive what they need, to take from this time together the healing, the revealing, the joy, the love, the effervescent bubbles of life that helps heal and fill each heart. And with this, I send blessings of love and gratitude to leaders and teachers of all faiths everywhere, knowing that they bring that love forward to their congregations, to the people that they minister to. And I send blessings to our leaders of every city, county, state, throughout our country and every country, knowing that they are being guided, that they can be open to the awareness of the divine in them. And for this, I am so grateful. I am grateful for this time together, and I let this go. Calling it good, together we say, and so it is.
Thank you. And I love
All
when
right.
you use the effervescent joy bubbles.
My
Automatically
effervescent joy
get a
bubbles.
visual when you
Yeah.
say that.
That's like one of my
Exactly the truth.
favorite, that brings it up for me.
You
That
feel that right away.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what that is. what
Yeah,
that's
that
like.
feeling like I'm a 7-Up bubble or something. Yeah.
7-Up bubble.
You know, that's one of the fun things of time together.
Yeah.
So today, one, everybody in the audience, please take your card and look at the back.
Look at the new back for the cards.
Okay, wait a minute.
good.
Wait a minute. I'm
So
coming
good. Oh, she's
towards
gonna
you.
show it.
Look at our cards. Woo!
Love it.
That's our new logo with our Begin Within Ministries sofa there. Okay.
Yes, that's our, because it's Begin with the Ministries and Sofa Side. So you got both logos for the
Both.
price of one.
Both logos for the price of one. Exactly.
Yes.
So that is amazing.
I love
So,
it.
and then
Love
on
our
the
little cards.
on the other side is today's
Affirmation.
affirmation.
Or theme or thought or
Mhm.
whatever.
Love is the highest power I possess.
I love that.
Right? Maybe we should all say that together.
Yes, we should.
Let's
Ready?
try that.
Love is the highest power I
possess.
possess.
Amen.
Oh,
to
I
that. And so
feel
it
that.
is.
So it is.
Absolutely. But I like how you said this morning that we're going to have to speak to the I possess part.
Right.
And where were you going with that? We kind of
Well-
talked a little bit, but I like when you said that immediately because it brought up stuff for me. But
I was like,
You're the
you
one
know,
that said it.
love being a possession that we own, that we have, that is, you know, when you possess something, right, it's yours.
Yes.
Right? Like, so that's how I was thinking.
Lyric,
Lyric, can you bring
there's
her
a hand
the-
up already? I love it.
Yeah. I was like, I love that feeling.
Yes.
So just a different perspective. How I heard it is that it's the power I possess, not possessing the love.
There you
So-
go. Yeah.
And so I'm proud of the powers that I possess, that I exhibit, that I demonstrate. Maybe.
There you go.
Love
Just
that.
hold it there.
Yeah, just hold it just in case. Oh, Barbara has one.
Or push it back there.
When Lacey was a little girl, she was talking to her aunt, who she doesn't see very often, and they were talking about superpowers.
Mhm.
And they were all talking about, you know, being able to fly and everything. And Lacey said, "My superpower is love."
Amen.
There you go.
She already
Yeah.
knew. She already
She
knew.
already knew as a little one.
She already
Yeah.
knew. Well, you know, when I see the word possess, right, especially in a sentence with love, That's for a lot of people, that's not always
Right. A
positive.
possessive.
A trigger.
Right, because they've
Yeah.
that's been attributed in a negative.
And that's kind
connotation
of
over
why
the
we
years.
wanted to talk to that.
And
Yeah.
I thought that's where what you were
Yeah.
saying was like, it is not a possession like a thing out here that I possess and I control
Right.
and I, manage and it's mine and no one else can have it. It's not
Right.
like that,
Mhm.
which is so cool that that's the way this affirmation is written, because it's a clear kind of play on words to make that awareness
Mhm.
that love is the power you possess, because
Right.
that is what you are.
Exactly.
It is inherited, it is already who you are. You possess it in here because that is already God is love, and you are made of God's stuff. That is all you are, is love. And the understanding of that being that power is yours, that is what and who you are
Right.
on the day, moment to moment, second to second, every single breath, that's already within you. You already possess it. You don't have to go out there and get it
Right.
and grab it and hang on to it and beg it and be codependent with it. None of that kind of possession. That's not what we're doing. It's
Mhm.
you already are it. It's such a cool thinking to make that clarification.
Right. I love that. So in the book we're doing currently, it's called The Art of Life, or
It's such a cute book. I mean,
or
I just love this little
it
book.
is the what else was it called? Oh Lordy. I can't.
Back when it was used to
It
be
used
called
to be, what's my favorite book? This Thing Called
The Thing
You.
Called You.
It was used to be called This Thing Called Life.
Why would he
So,
change that? So
because
silly.
Got confused. I don't know.
Who
You know,
Who wrote it?
Ernest Holmes.
Oh, okay.
You remember him.
Yeah.
And yeah, so The Art of Life by Ernest Holmes.
And
And this is page 12, and it says, love is natural. Hate is unnatural. It is natural to have confidence in the universe. There is one power, one presence back of and in
Yes.
everything. This power and presence must become real to him or her or them. He must learn to sense it in persons and in events. We tend to become like that which we identify the
Amen.
self.
Yes.
So identifying the
Yes.
self as love, big L and little, right? Then we become
Right.
like that.
Right.
That is our power.
It's true. I was thinking of something and I just lost it. Will you read that one more time?
Sure. The whole thing?
I think you should.
Okay.
Because I think sometimes they don't all have the books, that sometimes you need to hear it.
So I forgot, I should have read the first part here that's right above it. It says, the one who would heal hate must learn to love.
Oh,
Love is natural. Hate is unnatural. It is natural to have confidence in the universe. There is one power and one presence back of and in everything. This power and presence must become real. We must learn to sense it in persons and in events. We tend to become like that which we identify the self.
I love that. Right. What we declare ourselves to be. So I think a lot of people, even me from time to time when I forget or I'm not being intentional with how I'm moving in my life, I'm thinking like I'm a human being. I'm running around here acting like a human, Well, I'm only human, just running around here.
You're forgetting your superpower.
And I'm forgetting that actually that is
Yeah.
not true. I'm a spiritual being, which is what? Made of love, God's stuff. That's what I truly am, having a human experience. And that changes the game when we actually embody that and
Thank
remember
you.
that from time to time. The problem is that you can look outside of yourself and lots of indications are to the contrary if you don't understand. But a
Mhm.
lot of things, and if that constant bombardment, you're allowing that to be the constant feed you're receiving, then you naturally, I think, kind of fall into that and forget.
Mhm.
And now you're just bouncing around in that stuff, right? Forgetting the truth of who you are, and you're responding from there, acting like you're only human. But the moment you read something like this, or you have a moment to yourself where you become present and aware and you recognize the truth of yourself, now you're going to move differently. But that's you need to have intention for that. You need
Right.
to constantly every day, probably multiple times, depending on what you
Sure.
do for a living or how much you're out in the world or watching TV, you have to reset. back to remembering that love is the highest power I possess. That is what I am. And then making your moves from that position or that understanding, you're going to have a different, you're going to move naturally along with what's natural instead of moving in unnatural ways, which doesn't bring you happiness, doesn't create a life you love or anything else for that matter. It's like that's a lot of the stress that we experience is up here and what we're thinking through. And if that filter is saying I'm only human, I'm just, it's all happening to me and this is so hard and people suck and this and this. Yeah, guess what? You're creating constantly because you have forgotten.
And that I got one for that too.
Do it.
You
got more coffee, so you're ready.
I have more coffee, so I'm ready. That's a different book. That
He's always armed and dangerous.
I know.
I love it about her.
I was just
This is
such
a
a
great
cool
size book too. I love it.
Yeah, and
yummy,
I love the
yummy.
cover. So this is Ernest Holmes at Asilomar, and there was the Science of Mind Archives was doing a fundraiser for Ernest Holmes' birthday.
Oh,
He's 138 now. Happy birthday!
this guy.
And
Looking good.
This guy, right?
And so I bid on it and won. And I was like, oh, wow, because it talks all about how Asilomar came about. And this is in Pacific Grove. And, Dakota and I were in Pacific Grove. I spoke at a church there, and we didn't get to go to Asilomar because we weren't there long enough or whatever. And so I'm very disappointed because there's just so much to know about it now. And, but what did you just say that we were talking about?
That we can forget the truth of who we are and we're moving in an unnatural way to ourselves. Moving in the way of thinking we were only human. That we are, help me out. What else?
Superpower and
Yeah. Darn it.
Lost
Oh,
it.
wait a
Did
minute.
you lose it?
Maybe I didn't.
What else?
There was a word in there that I went, oh, I should have wrote it
What
down.
else did I say?
That happens. Oh, maybe this is our thing.
Did you find it?
Maybe. Okay. If not, it's good anyway. So this might have been what I was thinking of. Right.
It's the right
Yeah,
one.
it's the right thing.
That's how it happens.
It
Right.
says, we believe this divine spark, a spark which is, as Browning said, to receive what a man may waste, desecrate, never quite lose, comes up through, but carries with it from this ignorance and through this unconscious, and as Ms. Eddy calls it, the mortal mind. The Bible calls it the carnal mind, and about being human. And all it means is what everybody has believed. It has to get through all of that to get up to our self-awareness in exactly the same way. If we were dealing with psychology, the inner urge and all the repressions must be brought to the light of day to be seen, and then the avenue is cleared. What has this got to do with the theory of nonviolence? Because every psychological repression is based on resistance to the flow of that which ought to be expressing life, beauty, happiness, prosperity. It ought to be painting a picture, singing a song, etc., giving to the universe. But it must come up through and express, or the very energy of the most sublime thing will block its own passage. This means there is something in us now that is non-resistance. And this is like a whole class that he talked about or taught on non-resistance. And when you had said that about being human, I was like, that's it, right? Because when we're in that space, it becomes something that is blocking the divine. When we operate in that part of us that says, I'm only human, this is happening to me. That part blocks that spark of who we really are, and there are so many times that, you were saying we do it multiple times a day to bring ourselves back in, just like you breathe.
Yeah.
right? You know, like when people say something like, why should I make my bed? I'm only getting back in it. Or why should I brush my teeth? I'm only, you know, look, I see hands
Like
in the
to brush
audience,
I
right?
can brush my teeth. though.
Yeah, you know, there's some things that we do every day because we do them, you know, because they're good for us, because, you know, I ate this morning, so I never eat again. I mean,
right.
so it's the same way with going within. It's the same thing about getting ourselves grounded and centered, regardless of what happened. And now I remember, but I don't know where it's at. He talks about in that, about being grounded and centered, that, and this is paraphrasing what I read, he says that what we do, think, say is the law, right? Like what comes through, it comes through the law, whether you knew about it or not. But, and I experienced this as well, but if you then have intention and now know that the law works the way it's supposed to, right? And I can put out the good that I wish to see manifest, then the past can be erased. You know, the things I was thinking that were like, oh, people suck, right? All I have to do is stop saying that,
Right.
stop thinking that, and that can be erased.
Yes.
You know, and I was like, wow, that really was my
Your experience of it will stop.
Yes,
piecing my
yes.
head, right.
I stopped feeling this karmic, you know, crap, for lack of a better word, karmic crap. I stopped experiencing that when I came into Science of Mind and New Thought, because it really was a new thought. You know, that is what we are about. We are about changing your thinking,
Yes.
change your life.
Yes.
It is a new thought, not a new way of being. This is ancient wisdom teachings.
Over and over, they've taught it.
Yeah.
Over, multiple,
This is not,
everyone's
you
trying
know, oh, guess what? 1938, some guy came along and now we got a new religion. That is not it.
No.
He didn't even want to be a religion. He's a philosopher who was just
scientist.
yeah,
really,
and
too,
who was just trying to explain people who didn't speak in everyday lange, which
Well,
is
for
funny.
Ernest, 3 words is good, 1,500 words is better.
That's right.
Yeah, Ernest liked to write.
Very verbose.
Yes, he liked to talk.
But yes, exactly. To just when you're saying the default, you know, we so often, if you were to sit down right now and think about yesterday, how much of yesterday did you plan intentionally? Did you begin within before doing certain things? Those of us that work maybe with client, like I'll begin within before making a phone call. I'll begin within before writing something or creating something. I'll begin within because I want to come from my superpower, from that ability, not from the default setting that I tend to go to when I forget who I am, and then try to push and pull and make it and all, like, and then it's so stressful and it's not exactly, and it's so much easier when I begin within because I'm creating from my true nature, my true self,
Your
and all my power, my
highest
abilities,
power,
and my
yeah,
ideas and my creativity. It's all just sits right there
right.
in this present moment. But when we don't begin within and we're not moving from this place, we're making moves from stories and other people's ideas about things, or what we saw in the news, or our fears, or our worries, or our anger, or sadness, or whatever. And those moves are outside of the present moment.
And outside of our hula hoop.
There you go. And they
Right?
make it difficult.
If that's not
right.
Inside of here is mine, right? I can change how I think, how I act, how I respond. You know, we were talking yesterday in our Best Year Yet class about consciousness and what that means. And that's our, you know, our thoughts, our beliefs, our actions, our words, our attitudes, our responses, reactions, you know, so all those together is what I have control of. What I don't have control of is the stuff I see scrolling through media, people outside of me, what they plan to do, how they feel, how they think, you know, even those I love, right? I don't have control over that. And there's a book I'm reading or listening to on Audible right now that's amazing. And if you haven't heard
What is it?
Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins, I highly recommend reading, listening. Yeah, Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. And basically, she talks about relationships, but work and being a parent. And, we just let them. And, somebody is upset or you think somebody's going to be upset about it. Well, let them. These are grown humans who are allowed to have their own experiences.
Exactly.
So she talks a lot about being a parent of grown children and wanting them to do things her way and having bad responses from the children with that. And I love that part. I was like, yep, that's it. Because, I remember being a young adult and my mother wanting my house to be a certain way and things to be, and I was an older adult and still had those things, and it's like, you have to let each individual person be who they are. You have no control. That is not yours.
Have their experience.
Exactly. They get to have their experience. And the other part is let me. Let me do what I need to do.
Right. Even if it's, you call it suffering, even if you're experiencing pain, even if I know that I think I know what you're headed toward is a bad, other than safety issues, but for the most
that's
part,
why we say grown children versus, because we do have a responsibility to the littles.
But we have to allow people to have their experiences and have the result of their thinking.
Yes.
Because sometimes we do try to protect. I'm guilty of this with people that I know in my circle that I might want to not have them go down this negative path. So I try to, we want to try to help them. But the more older I get, the more I go, no, that's a result of their thinking. And if I continue to protect them from that result, how will they change? And how will they recognize
and how will they get to their next iteration of what needs to happen for them?
Yeah. Oh, Larry, not that I want anybody to suffer or feel pain,
but sometimes suffering does bring us to our highest good.
And what we've been thinking will result, and sometimes that result we're like, okay, this is a result of my thinking. I need to change my thinking, but I still have to go through the result before I'm going to get the new result of the new thinking, right? And we try to rob each other of that moment. We need it.
Yeah, I love that thought. The idea that that it's not up to us to alter someone's path. However, just thinking about yesterday when I'm in this mindset and you remind me. So reminding me is fine.
Yeah.
And that is actually powerful and wanted and appreciated. And then it's up to me. And then that's when you let me have my experience and the consequences of what I'm thinking.
Right.
But I'll always be open to someone saying, why don't we look at it this way?
Right.
I mean,
that's a talent. I mean, that's like a growth place. When you can receive someone else helping you with just checking the mindset a little bit, you've grown to a certain level, because a lot of people can't do that yet.
Well, not just that, but having people in my life who I trust so completely, who know me so well, that if they point out something, I'm going to take the time to reflect on it. Now, I might end up saying, man, I'm going to go down this path anyway. But I am always open to someone giving me the opportunity to look at it differently.
Yeah, and that's a growth plate. Like you're in a higher level. A lot of people still haven't even realized that they're creating their experience.
I hate that question.
Yes, and it's very difficult to then have someone say, well, if you just work on your thinking, like they don't want to hear
What
that.
are you thinking?
I know, right?
Well, and like you said, that's a definite balance. So one, you have to trust the person who's bringing a different perspective,
I would think,
right? So if somebody brings me a different perspective, that is a big growth, because I am now learning to hear that more.
It's not easy. I don't think.
No, especially if you've now got a plan behind it, right? I think that's, if you're just having some random thought process and I was like, hey, let's go down to the beach or whatever like that. That's different. Well, Jeannie, it's snowing at the beach right now. Oh, maybe that's not a good idea.
Right.
That's a random thing versus this is what I want to see. Here's my plan behind it. And then somebody comes in to throw a wrench in it. I'm not thrilled about that. And I probably have a little like stop power in that moment. And then, it seeps in later. So you can say, you know what, you said that. And at the time I wasn't thrilled, but I can now see that as something.
There are a lot of people like that too. Like sometimes you just have to say it and leave it.
Yeah.
Because they do need time to process. It takes time to work. And I think that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But it's the problem when you say, well, don't you understand what I'm saying? Why are you like, it's the problem with saying it and then continuing to harp on it. Like it should be like, well, have you considered looking at it this way? Well, no, but I'm probably, okay, no. Just throw
it out there and allow that to be,
My friend Robin will say, well, I would want someone to tell me, just
right. I'm just going to put it here. Yeah.
Just something I was thinking of. And then I'll think about it. And I think, it's so nice that she does that. I mean, I don't know if she's uncomfortable when I reject it or when I'm like, well, that's not what I wanted. I kind of wanted to go here. But I appreciate someone that would get a hit. Yeah. Get like a call, like, a calling to say something. And then they just go for it. And they're not married to it, whether you take it or not, the advice or not. This just came through them. So they gave it to you, and then what you do with it is up to you. I want someone to give me that idea. I don't care.
And I think that's the people that we trust, right? The people that aren't married to their opinion when they give it to you.
Right.
Take it, don't take it. I know that I can have a hard time when somebody doesn't take, like at work or something, and somebody calls me for something and I tell them and then they tell me why that's wrong. I feel like, well, why did you call me?
Yeah. What do you
like, what is it,
You want to just rant.
So I get very attached to that in that way. And so learning to let them have their own experience. Here, this is what you called me for. I'll give it to you. I didn't know that there was another way. Thank you. Here you go.
Right.
Versus having such an ego attachment to my answer because I want to be right or whatever. So there's in this book here, it says,
what's that one called again?
This is The Art of Life. Previously, this thing called life, which it actually says at the bottom here, but it was very small print and I didn't say it. It says, our difficulty is that we have been trying to unite that which was never divided. We have been looking for life outside the self. We are like fish trying to find the waters of life in which it is already immersed.
I love that. Is that crazy?
Yes.
Let's say that one more time, though.
We are like fish trying to find the waters of life in which it is already immersed. When Jesus said the kingdom of God is at hand, and when he explained that the kingdom of heaven is within, this is what he was talking about. Jesus announced the presence of God in man as well as around him, so that there is only God, and most that I'm aware of, most religions in some way, shape, or form say that, that God is omnipresent, omniscient, always there, everywhere, in everything, all at once. And it's not funny, but I can't come up with another word for it. But it's funny how, even though that's the belief of most religions, we will talk about the separation of us from God and each other.
Yeah.
And life as itself, the rocks, the trees, the animals, we talk about this separation and we are all one.
It's all the same.
It's all the same.
And actually, most religions are saying the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But they can't hear you.
Right.
Like I have people who will talk to me from a basic, the technical Christian faith, even though religious science is a Christian based, if you want to label it like that, because Ernest based a lot of it on Christ, on Jesus, because of the Christ consciousness and all of that. So there's a lot of that throughout science of mind. So you could say as I just read, very much a Christian based, idea or teaching from that person, just like any other Christian. But I'll talk to a Christian person and they're speaking to me like, I don't know, I don't understand, like I don't get this stuff, and I'm like, I'm just in my mind translating. Yep, you're saying that. Yep, we're saying that. Just they word it just a little bit differently to where they think we're saying different stuff. But honestly, you're like, you guys, we're all saying the exact same thing. Just worded it a little bit of a tweak to where it seems different, but it's really not. I think that was the moment that I realized that I knew what I knew. Like, you know how they say that, like if you know what you know, you want to get to that deep, deep level of knowing. And I kept saying, I want to know what I believe so well, whatever it is, if it's religious science or something, I just want to know it so well that when someone else comes up and talks to me, I'm confident and I'm comfortable to have those conversations because I know to my core of the truth is for me. And once I got that, I hear everyone else's talk. Like there's someone in particular in my life who does kind of preach to me a lot. And I hear everything differently now. I just translate it. It's like, my gosh, we were saying the exact same thing. I no longer have to get upset when that person does that to me, because it used to bother me. Like it was making it like I'm wrong. My thinkings are wrong. That person's right. Always trying to fix that or whatever, or save it or whatever. And now I hear it in a whole, I'm like, wow, we are the same. And so I'll respond back to it from what I hear. Then I respond back and they're like, right. And then they just keep trying to finagle it because they still can't hear.
Right.
Through the filter.
So you just let them.
So I just keep talking my talk because I hear it. I'm translating and I feel like I'm able to communicate. And I'm just responding right back because we're saying the same thing. We're talking about this same exact thing. And I think once you really have that place, once you recognize that truth within yourself, you can see that everything's the same. We're all one thing, moving around here in these unique forms, but we're all one thing. There's only one thing. And all these different faiths, that's why I also think there's many paths to this understanding, because you're seeing it from all these different points of view, and they all lead to the same thing because they're all actually saying the same thing.
Right. That's why it's like there is only one.
There's only one.
There's a great little skit that Reverend Bill Marcioni wrote, the one. Remember?
That's
funny.
I
love that. But it's, it's all about there's only one, and he's done it kind of to the who's on first type of, whatever it's called, joke or whatever like that.
It is who's on first.
Yeah, that's what it is
so
that
well
he does. Yeah, he wrote that. And I love it because it really does come down to what you're saying. Like when people say, well, there's only one. And we say, there's only one. Yeah. And then you listen to people talk about this separation because they'll talk about people who are not part of us. Right. There's us and them. There is no us and them. There's only one.
Right. And everything I'm doing is affecting the whole ripple effect outward.
Right. There's only one. Right. So there is no different race, religion, personhood, country, state. There's nothing else.
It sure feels like it.
It does.
It sure feels like it.
I know it does.
The external world, if you choose to live there, it sure feels like that, right? Yes. All those lines are there. All those rules are, all that stuff's there. But if you begin within, if you work from within, you will feel and see that connection.
Yes.
Even if that's the exact opposite out externally, you're still going to feel it and see that. Like I remember a time when I was dealing with somebody, and it was kind of a scary situation for me because I had to break a lease one time, and I thought they weren't going to release me. I'm not so sure, but I was so scared, but the confrontation I think scared me because this person was known to be really mean. But I needed them to understand what was happening in my life, and I was hoping that we could come to an arrangement. And I was really nervous. I had to make this call to talk to them. And then I thought, whoa, what are you doing? So I decided to treat for it first, which is spiritual mind treatment, which is the way that we pray. And in the treatment, I was treating for me.
Right.
To make the
Changing
call,
our
right?
mind.
And in the treatment, it occurred to me, oh, this is not just about me. It's about me and him. And the dance that we are involved in here around, we both want something out of this situation, right? And so I prayed for the highest and best for both of us. So we would both receive the highest and best. Wouldn't I want that if I want that for me, why would I want me to have the best and him to have, that doesn't make any sense if we're all one.
Right.
I want the best for all of us, whatever's fair and the best. And as soon as I got that realization in that moment of prayer, beginning within and being present, in the present moment, I got that. When I was out here in the external feeling scared and worried and stressed, I wasn't getting any of that. It was me against him, and I was going to have to be tough and totally different. When I prayed and I was in the present and I got all of that from being in the moment, I took a breath and I was like, oh, I'm not trying to get one over on him. I'm not trying to be tougher than him. I'm not trying to be anything.
Right.
I really just want what's fair for both of us. And I made the call like that, and he tried. It was so amazing because he was his normal.
Right.
Well, I'm like, I understand that that's, if you can't do anything else, I understand. I do have an agreement with you. And I was literally like that. My body, my mind, I was just like, I want the best for him too. And if I don't want to screw anybody up. And I came like that. And he was like, well, okay, look, here's what I'm going to do. And I'm like, here's what I'm going to do? What? He goes, let's do this. And then he came up with this whole plan. And I was like, really? I'm like, well, thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Just call my front desk person and I'll tell him just to fix. Like he was, and then because he got frustrated with himself. Right. Like he did that. And then he was like, what am I doing? Like, whatever. I guess so. That's fine.
She has me under her spell.
Yeah. But it was really that I had prayed for both of us to get what was the highest and best. And that came out, and it was a fair compromise between the situation. And I hung up the phone going, oh my gosh, we are the same. We are the same. So I want to take from you. That's like, what? That makes no sense. But instead, if I come from my power, my truth of who I am, and I come in love, I come from that place.
It really, truly is the highest.
It's
the highest power we possess.
Right.
And you were saying about how, it seems like it on the exterior, external world.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people feel that right now, that external thing, and pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And I think about us as all being one. So if you take your own personal body for a second, it's all one, right?
Yeah.
This is Jeannie, that's Michelle, right? Like we have our individual body parts.
Yes.
And yet I have a knee, I have an elbow, right? So I do have, but you wouldn't say that's Jeannie.
You're right.
Right? Like you wouldn't say that's Jeannie. You wouldn't say that's Michelle, or like you wouldn't have separation there. It's all one.
Right.
It's all one. That is just like us. The source energy that is Earth in this universe and
beyond our understanding.
Is one.
Right.
It's just one. It's just different things. So like, the Earth might be the elbow in it. I don't know. I used to say we're all gods. Some people are just God's armpits. So, and other body
don't
parts.
Don't go any further. Let's just stop right there with the armpits. I know you can see the problem with that.
So,
but you can see when you move how he was saying it's natural and then unnatural, right?
Right.
So when you move, like when I finally got that understanding through my beginning within and praying, right? Do my treatment of my own mind. So that I came into the space with him in a loving, correct way. It flowed naturally. He couldn't help but respond to me from that place because that's where I was. He had to come to me there. Had I chosen to be where he was and go to a place of anger or my words,
which we consider unnatural.
Right. It would have felt unnatural. Doesn't that feel unnatural? It feels awful.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel like my natural state.
Right. We stop breathing when we're angry.
Yes.
When we're in that hateful energy, we're like,
we
puff it up and
it's terrible. Yeah. He would have met me there, and I guarantee you it would have been an ugly situation.
Yeah.
It would have been a battle.
Nobody would have gotten what they wanted.
No, it would have been terrible.
Yeah.
But in this situation, it only takes one. When I used to life coach, I would say to people, they'd say, well, I'm having a problem with my spouse or my mother, whatever it is. And then I say, well, do you need us both to come in? And then, no, I just need one of you. I don't care who it is. I just need one. I need one person to change their mindset because it changes the relationship. You only need one person. So you can do that yourself. The other person doesn't even need to know you've done anything. It doesn't matter. They can't, they can't meet you in some other place. If you're not there, if you sit in love and you come to them with love, they have to come here.
Or leave.
Or leave.
Or leave, right?
There's only one way they're going to meet you.
There's only one way. that you can, so.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's how like the greats have solved a lot. Like Gandhi sat in love. Like he wasn't gonna go meet you out there in this anger and ugliness. He wasn't gonna go. I'm not going with you. I want you to come with me to where we belong. This is where our natural state is in being in love.
Well, and those energies kind of take care of themselves. If especially in like an unhealthy relationship, if one person starts to get healthy and starts to be more centered, then oftentimes the other partner the pendulum has to swing the other way to keep that balance. And what almost always happens is that dissolves the relationship.
It can,
You know,
yeah.
so if I take a stand on where I'm at and you can't meet me there, then that, I mean, it's not like I'm saying you can't be with me. But the natural consequence is that person is no longer comfortable in that environment because the conflict is gone.
And so they either have to, what you're saying, leave, or they have to change.
Mhm.
And I have coached people too, where I've said, the only option that the only chance that your partner is ever going to change is if you hold your ground and you stay where you are.
Mm.
You know, you can't change them. You can't make them. I had a friend of mine that she was worried about the man who she's married to now, but she was worried about the situation and broke into tears. It was this whole awful conversation. And I said, look, you need to hold your ground here. And then she was scared if she did that, he might leave. Oh, right. But if he violates that, you want him to stay?
Mm-hmm.
The only shot I can see of him changing that behavior is if you stay here and hold that. And he will have to shift it. And I would have gambled that he was going to, because I could feel his movements anyway, that he was trying to figure this stuff out. But if she was like everybody else and would just go with him, then why would he?
Mm-hmm.
But if she wanted him to be what he was actually really, really wanted for his own life, she had to hold her space there. She had to hold her ground. And when she did, the next time I saw her, he moved toward her.
Mm-hmm.
And it was awesome because I had given her the advice to hold her space. I was a little worried the next time I saw her what the result would have been. But he started to move in that direction. And I was so grateful because I knew that was the best thing for him too. So it was really cool to see that evolution. And it taught me even more how important it is to begin within, to know what your truth is, to hold that space.
Mm-hmm.
And anything that's unnatural to that, unless you want to go that way, that's the only shot that other person has of changing and growing, is if you hold yours and just love them in that space.
That's a
It's
lot
the
of,
only shot.
that's a lot of what Mel Robbins talks about in the Let Them, is
Yeah.
that we rob adults of the opportunity. So she talks about, if you're paying your grown child's rent, why would they do something different?
Exactly.
If
Why would they
you're doing
hustle?
it?
Why would they
move? So she talks about that, it's like and I remember, I had been paying for Savannah's phone forever that she was out there, and she decided to pay for her own. And
Savannah.
I was
That's
like,
awesome.
this is like last year now, I think, but I was like, well, you don't have to. She goes, no, Mom, I can. And I was like, okay.
And that's how it's done.
Yeah,
Just like that.
and it's like giving that opportunity to have that, that she was able to, was amazing,
Right.
And that's what Mel talks about, is that you have to be able to allow grown adults to do that.
Right. You have to allow anybody. Really.
Right.
Unless it's a young child where you're trying to guide them in the right way, but they still should recognize some of their own results. But yeah, we have to, our job is ourselves.
Right.
In our experience. And if what we're experiencing is not what we want to be experiencing, then we need to make the changes that we already know what we need to do to create a different experience. No one needs to tell you that. You already know what it is.
Right. It's like when people say, well, you want to lose weight, just eat less and exercise more. No, really?
That's it.
Okay, well,
you don't
thanks.
need anything else. That's literally it.
Right? It truly is,
Yes.
right?
Everything
Yeah.
you want to have happening in your life, you already know.
You already know the answer to. So
But maybe
like
you don't want to.
right.
Or
You
it
know,
seems
yeah, I don't
hard,
want
it's
to
a lot
make
of
that
effort, it's a lot
choice
of
or
work,
whatever, but yeah.
You already know what it is.
You already know.
Or you could find someone who's done it and you can reverse engineer it and figure it out.
Exactly.
But that's so important to hold that for what you want. And anybody else that's in your life, if you're coupled with, if you're in a relationship with somebody, they'll either have to leave or they'll have to move towards you in that movement. That's what will,
And vice versa.
right.
Right?
Yeah,
If they're
exactly.
at a space and, you know, you're dragging your feet, yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's like, you know, put up or shut up. Like,
Exactly.
you know, there's a space there where you're going to grow. I mean, I'm not saying like in any relationship, you know, you grow, you know, like together, separately, and
Right.
that type of thing. And you watch that as it happens. And like when we were talking about bringing love into the picture, you can both move from that space, you know, as long as that's the type of relationship there is. But there are time periods where there's not that, and you have to say, I'm sorry, that's, you know, I'm not going, and they can make that choice.
Right. It's really powerful to have, if we're talking about like your significant other, it's really powerful to have a significant other that is, when you guys work together on the same intentions for your life, it's so powerful because now you are both manifesting. You're both putting all your power. That's a lot of power.
That
Two
is.
people, that's a
That
lot.
is. Yeah. When you have two going for it.
And you're you know, maximizing your
like you have
actions toward the things that you're wanting to create. I mean, that's so, it's so cool doing it yourself, but it's like so incredible
much more
to do
when
it with
there's
a partner
more.
and you guys have the same intentions.
Oh, and same with tribe situations when we're like in that and watching that explode.
It's awesome.
I got another one.
What you got? This is such a
Cute
cute little book.
Isn't
I
it
love
a cute
this
little book? It's like, I mean, it really is
adorable.
what I would call a bathroom read. It's so small.
It's so cute. I love it.
If you will take time daily to sense the presence of life within you, to believe in it, to accept it, it will not be long before the life which you have known will gradually disappear and something new will be born, a bigger, better, and more perfect you.
Hallelujah.
You will pass from death into life, from lack and want into greater freedom, from fear into faith, from a sense of being alone. You will pass into a realization of oneness with everything, and you will rejoice in this oneness. You will soon discover that when you recognize this life in others, it will respond to you through them. It will be like calling someone by his name. It will respond, and you will know that it is responding because you will feel its response. All sense of aloneness will disappear.
Aww.
Isn't that awesome?
I love
That is
that.
awesome.
I love that. I love
What
that.
page was that on again?
That's 19 to 20. I actually posted that on Facebook the other day with the picture of what if it all works out.
What if it all works out? How you
Because I
planned it.
love that.
Yeah, and I've already lost my last thought. So
And the thoughts are
really
running
good thought.
away.
I just-
Runaway thoughts.
because then I hear something else you're saying. I'm like, oh, then there's that. I can't remember what I was gonna say, but it was good. So
It was good. Just
it was
just
a good
bask
thing
in that
Bask
goodness,
in the goodness that I
that
would have
feeling
said
that it was good.
to share.
I love that.
I know. I love love.
I love love. I love that this month has and is about love, and it being a bigger definition than what is in the grocery store for candy and cards. Right. So like love is something that I think needs to be forefront of our minds right now. There is so much division appearance-wise happening. So bringing love into our forefront and operating from there is an amazing thing. Dakota brought rocks.
I love when she brings rocks. She makes me very happy. I remember what I was gonna say though.
Mm-hmm.
So in the quantum physics arena there, you know, and all the infinite realities that are happening simultaneously, right? Like it's the thinking that moves you on these different realities. It's that's what you're manifesting. These things already exist. Every possibility is already there, in the mind of God. So it's like, as you're moving through life, whatever you're focusing on, you are going to move into that direction, and that's what you will be experiencing. So if you want to be experiencing more love in your life, you want to be experiencing a life that you love in all these different areas. And it's so important to begin within, find that love within yourself that's already there. It already is what you are, and move from that spot into those areas. So when you're seeing something on the news that looks awful, or it speaks completely opposite of how you would say it or want it or whatever, and it riles all that up in you. And I know a lot of people feel that way right now. Lots of stuff happening, and it just sets you off. Or you're saying, well, if that's happening, then oh my gosh, our future is this and our future that. Guess what? That's gonna be the experience. I know that sounds almost nuts in a way sometimes, and I know it feels completely opposite of, oh, you mean if I just think like it's going to be fine, then yes, I do. It's what we choose to focus on. So it's, while all that's going on, at the exact same time, there's so many good things that are happening too. There are positive things that happen. There are good people in the world. There are good heroes or great, the moment in your life, maybe you're going somewhere and I had a day, Peter and I were out one day, we were in a good mood, and I can't tell you how many people are nice to us. Like, have you ever had a day like that? Like, are we like dressed funny, or is there something on my face? Like, if people are walking by smiling, and usually we get a lot of stares because my husband's 6'8", so a lot of times we get that, and he's like, "Why are these people staring at me?" I'm like, "Babe, you're very tall, you're a very big guy." They're like, "Who is that? Who is that guy?" But this day it was so strange. It was like, "Oh, hi," and it was like, "Oh, hi, nice to see you." Like, what? And then people holding doors for us. Usually my husband holds doors for everybody else, but everybody's holding doors for us. We were like, he's like, "Why is everybody being so nice to us?" I'm like, "I don't know. We must have been manifesting that or coming from a different place." Whereas some days it can be a negative space, and boy, you could find that everywhere too.
Right.
Which one do you want? I say, let's use the highest power we possess, that which we are.
Yes.
And when you see those moments that are not what you would like to be experiencing, let's just say it like that. Can you think of something that you love and you would like to experience? Can you envision the opposite? Can you play with your abilities to shift this reality? Could you please help me in doing this? Because the more of us that work on this together, the faster we will all move into a different reality that we can love, that we can feel safe and secure and not worried and not whatever. But the more of us that sit in that and constantly talk about it and constantly put it on social media, and it's this constant thing. I know we're trying to be informed and we're trying to stay on top of it, but the constant manifesting this feeling and scaring ourselves and whatever, we're just creating more of it. And that's what like, please, can we stop doing that? I don't want any more of it. I don't want
more. No more of that.
I want the happy stuff, and I want to be, so sometimes my husband thinks I'm not paying attention or that I'm ignoring it. Or I'm like, no, I just don't want to give it any energy.
Right.
I don't want to talk about it because I don't want that to have an ounce of my power at all. And I don't, and that might seem to some that I'm being dismissive or I'm not doing anything about it, but I feel like that's my greatest power, is to like starve it to death of my energy.
Yeah, I'm very aware of what's happening in the world because I do pay attention as far as things, but I'm with you.
Yeah.
And very little energy goes into it. I have like a morning news thing that I look at. Okay, that's what's happened. Fine.
Yeah.
I send it love.
Yes.
So this morning in one of my newsletters, I sign up for so many different newsletters in the world. Sark. Have you heard of Sark? She's an artist. She does beautiful S-A-R-K.
She does, just like it sounds.
Yes, she does beautiful artwork. So she also, I'm on hers. She used to live on a barter system, homeless, not operating in money.
Okay.
And one of the things that she used to do was take miracle walks. She would hold up her hands and walk and say, "Miracle, find me now."
Oh.
And one time money came to her. She talks about this in a different thing that I was in, but where she needed rent money and the rent money came to her and she kept her hands out because after she made the rent money, she was hoping there'd be extra. There wasn't. But, you know, that was
Well,
funny.
she was specific.
But she does miracle walks. And and I saved this to talk about. She said, miracle mood, find me now.
Ooh.
Miracle person, find me now.
Nice.
And miracle money, find me now. And she said when she does these miracle walks, looking for miracles, holding her hands out for miracles,
I love
then
it.
she finds those people that are happy, that are joyfully dressed. She pointed out people in polka dots or whatever. So it was like, I was like, I love this idea. I
too.
love this idea of miracle walks and being open to receive the miracles that are. Because
love
like you
that.
said, there is not just this. There is all
there's
of this.
always the other side of the coin.
Yes, there's all of this
The
happening.
natural and unnatural.
There are
Up and down,
people-
back and forth. Yeah.
There are people doing and being and
Yeah.
having that we need to give our energy there. We
Yeah.
need to back up that part, that action of what we do want to see in the world.
And the famous saying is, I can't wait to see how God works this out.
Right?
I can't wait to see it. That's what I say to myself. When I watch something on the news that scares me or bothers me, or my husband likes to tell me the things, that theories that he has, which they make perfect sense. I'm not saying it sounds like malarkey. I'm saying like, oh my gosh, I could see that being the exact thing that's going to happen.
Right.
I just
Well,
go,
let's not empower it.
I like to see how God works this out.
Yeah.
Because God works out everything for the good. God is back of everything. Everything. How many times have you had something bad happen to your life that you would have, in the moment or right before it happens, you're like, this is the worst thing ever. And you can look back now and go, it was the best thing that ever happened.
Yep.
That is how it is. God is back of it all. If you believe that, then it can't be, oh, his back of this or back of that. No, it's all.
Right. God is
It's either-
everything
if
or
God
he
is
is
everything
nothing.
or if it's nothing.
Yeah.
So you just need to remind yourself of where you stand on those issues, how you feel about those things. Do you believe that God is love? And if you do, then that's what you are. That's the power you possess innately. That's just who you are. And let's use that power, please, 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 to create and move us into the reality we want to be
Yes.
experiencing right now. I can't wait to see how God fixes all of this and works this out and makes it amazing. I can't wait to see
I can't wait.
the turn and change of events.
Absolutely.
I'm here for it. I'm here
Yeah.
for it. I'm here to see what we
Absolutely.
do. Power unite.
That's right. It's like when Wonder Twins unite. There we go.
Oh, mugshot.
Oh yeah, there you go. Wonder Twins.
Activate.
Wonder Twins activate. That's what it is. Oh, I love it. All right.
I love it.
Anything
No pun-
else?
No pun intended.
No, right? No, puns definitely intended. I'm a punny person.
Funny
Sounds
person.
like punishment.
She's a
Yeah.
Oh,
Ah.
oh, come on now.
now.
This is funny.
This is.
We're a funny crew.
We are. We are.
We
We are.
got the things. All right.
Are you ready?
Yes. Oh, deep breath. And as we breathe in and breathe out, we recognize there is only one power. There's only one breath, one life, one energy. And it is God, it is spirit, it's divine source, first cause. It is all there is. And it is only love. Each one of us is the perfect, unique manifestation of God, of all there is, of love. It is our unique perfectness, our wholeness, our completeness. It is our truth. It is all we are. And from my place of knowing that truth, I speak my word into the law, because I know as I do the law of God, I can only say yes. And I know that as each of us receives what it is ours to receive from our sharing, our talk, our ideas today, I know that we move in the direction of love. I know that we each recognize for ourselves in our own way, we each recognize that love is the highest power we possess. And as we recognize that, as we feel that, as we know that to our deepest core, we move from there. We use that power that is ours innately, that we possess, whether we recognize it or not. It's just there because that's who we are, what we're made of. I know that we use it for good, that we use it to create a life we love, to bring that into our experience right now, in every moment, in every breath. We choose that. And I'm excited for this. I'm excited to see how God works everything out. I'm excited to see the life we love. And so I let it go, know, and trust that it's already done in the mind of God. And together we say, and so
it is.
So how can we support you?
Well, thanks for asking. Yes. Well, thanks for supporting us by being here.
Oh, yeah.
That is probably
Love
the
it.
greatest support. We love having people to look out at and talk to.
We do love
And
that.
yes,
And get
and
hugs. I know we love
you
us some
know.
hugs.
And yeah, so that's one of the biggest way you can support us is show up, come see us. And some of the other ways you can support us is like and subscribe. If you are on our YouTube channel, please like and subscribe. And if
That
you
helps us. And our
It does help
Instagram, our
us.
Instagram too, helps
Yes.
us to grow, helps the algorithm know that we've got something awesome going on here, and it will share it also.
And you can also join us on our Facebook group. We have a Facebook group that is called Sofa Sundays. It is a group, not a page. So look for us there and become a member. One of the best ways,
Because you know you want this mug.
you want this mug. I'm
You
trying
know
to
you
get
want
it
the
to,
mug.
there you go. Have you guys seen this mug? You know, we're so far back there.
I know.
Let me show you.
Oh my goodness.
There you go. That's the mug.
Such a cute
So,
mug.
And actually, we'll get new ones with our new girls
our pink-
on there
our
with the
pink,
pink.
yes.
With my pink
The new ones are coming.
So you can become
And
a
you get your
spiritual church
cards.
club partner.
Yes.
And that is $45 a month or $45 a month for an individual or $75 for a couple or family. And that helps support us. You get your mug, you get your
You get your journal for the year. This has all the affirmations for the year. It's already in here, so you can use that book. You get our classes and our workshops, anything we do here. Our upcoming spring concert is coming up, and you'll get to
yes.
participate with that. So it's very
Yeah.
exciting. We're so excited about that. Yeah, you just get to be a part of this community. You know, if you feel like this is speaking to you, if this is supporting you spiritually, then we would, appreciate the support back, because we want to continue this. We want to grow. We want to be in our, bigger place. We want Jeannie needs to have her own labyrinth.
my own labyrinth.
She needs
people.
it, people. So, and that's how we grow. We grow from support from our partners.
Yes. So those are the ways you can support us. And we have some things coming up I wanted to tell you about. So in 2 weeks, right? The
2 weeks now.
23rd,
2 weeks.
February 23rd, we have exciting things happening. After Sofa Sundays, in person, we will have a yoga nidra.
Oh, I can't.
And after that,
So
we're going to lunch at Enchiladas. So,
Hola!
yay! So we haven't been out to lunch in a little bit.
Right, so
So
it's time.
it's time to go. Huh?
I hate their
You hate their food?
What? I love that food.
Oh my
Well, we
goodness.
can go
Well,
somewhere else.
all right. Well,
I don't
and
need
if
to
there's
eat.
someplace else you want to go.
Yeah, I
So
don't
we're
need to
going
eat
out to
big
lunch.
tortillas.
We'll talk about it. We'll see where
We'll
we're
figure out
going.
where we're
Ignore me.
Yeah, ignore her. If you said it out loud, we have to
We
acknowledge.
have to acknowledge one of our partners. doesn't
Yeah,
like
one
it.
of our partners doesn't like it. I mean, we could check someplace else
We'll
out.
go somewhere else. It's no big deal. I
That's
thought
no
everybody
big deal.
liked it. That's why
I
I
did.
picked
Why?
it.
And it's close.
I
But
know.
anyway, we have Yoga Nidra coming up,
Yes.
and we will go out to lunch afterwards.
And we are working on our spring concert. We have not
Right.
done that yet before, so this is brand new.
It's brand new.
We've already got several people locked in.
As long as we come up with a date that works
Yes,
for
we
them.
need to get a
Yes,
date for
we have
everybody,
to
but
work
we're
on it.
very
Yeah.
excited. So probably we're looking like beginning of March or beginning of April sometime. I thought we said. What did we say?
I
We
don't
don't-
know
we
what
didn't
we
say.
said. We're meeting tomorrow,
Yes,
so
it's coming up though, so we're very excited.
we'll figure things out. Yeah.
Yes, we're working on it.
We're
So,
working on it.
Lots of things brewing for Sofa Sundays this
Yes, there are lots of things brewing. I love that.
I know.
Absolutely.
year. All right. Well, I don't know. Was there anything else? Are we complete today?
I am complete. Everybody feeling good?
Yes.
All righty. Well, perfect.
Well,
So-
then I guess we have to say goodbye.
We do have to say goodbye.
Go Chiefs! Go Chiefs!
Go Eagles!
Thanks for watching.
Tune in again next week at 11:11 a.m. Pacific Time, or Monday evening at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.